So this is a very big and exciting day. I can finally wear this shirt. I have earned it. I can finally wear it and not feel like an imposter. Alright, so I have some fun news for everyone watching this video. I quit my job in the tech field. The title is not clickbait. That actually happened. I put in my 2 weeks about 2.5 weeks ago, and just this past Friday, for the sake of this video, this was recorded Sunday, April 26th. And on Friday, April 24th, that was my last day. I was working at a tech company. I'd been working there for about 4 years. Before you have any questions, no, AI did not take my job. No, I was not laid off. This is something that I chose to do on my own. And no, it wasn't a horrible experience working there. My coworkers were awesome. The company was great. I worked remotely. I had a lot of freedom. I had a lot of say over what my projects were. It was an overall good experience. I would recommend the company to other people that I've talked to. In fact, I have done that. It's just one of those things where if you know me personally, like people in my life know this about me, I could be given the world's best job. But if it's still a job, if it's still your typical 9 to 5, there's going to be a time limit on it. Like, even if it's the world's best job, come down from the heavens on high. Here you go, Dave. Here's the best place to work. I'd be like, that's awesome. But I'm still only going to be here for a couple of years because I'm going to want to try new things. I'm going to want to be challenged in different ways. I'm going to want to constantly be learning about this. Like when it comes to tech, I really, really enjoy this stuff. Now, I wanted to make this video because I know there are some people out there that are feeling this way. I know this for a fact because I made a video a couple months ago talking about my burnout, my experiences with burnout. If you watch that video, you know that I have taken a 1.5 years off between jobs. So I've already done this. I've already taken time off. I've already quit my job with nothing else lined up and used some money that I have saved up to live this way. And it's great. It's wonderful. If you are able to do it, I totally recommend it. I recognize that I am in a very blessed position to be able to afford to do so, but I'm taking advantage of those blessings and using it. I think that's going to be super awesome. So if you've watched that video, you know I've talked about being burnt out. The company I worked for before was just, it was a great company, but then it was bought out by a bigger company and it just kind of went downhill and it was a whole big thing. And that took about a 1.5 years for me to be away from computers, for me to get amped up and fired up about computers. The nice thing is, after that was done, and I got back into the job market, this was around like 2022. That's around the time I started making content on TikTok. So my burnout had gone away. In fact, I was really amped up about content. And that's why I have this channel, because I'm like so amped up about tech. Here's the cool thing. 4 years later, if you're watching on YouTube, I know it's only been 2 years I've been posting this channel. I've been posting on TikTok for about 2 years prior to that. That's why if you go look at some of my videos from 2 years ago, my hair is way shorter. It's like 4 years worth of shorter. In those 4 years, I have not gotten burnt out on tech. Now, I've gotten burnt out on working. I've gotten burnt out on Zoom meetings. I've gotten burnt out on reorgs and different managers and all things like that. I've gotten burnt out on having to request PTO. And let me pause right there. They've always been great. They've always given me time off whenever I've asked for it. My point is, I just would rather not have to ask for it. I have a very, what's the word I'm looking for? Independent, self-sufficient. I don't like to have to ask people to do anything. That's why this content creation stuff, I love it. I'm just naturally drawn towards it. I love talking to a camera. Obviously, I'm a big fan of this. I love teaching stuff, but I also like being able to post whatever videos I want, being able to talk about whatever I want, and not really being beholden to any sort of schedule. If I feel like making a bunch of videos, I go and make a bunch of videos. If I don't, I don't. So this video will be all over the place, but I want to give you my thoughts and just sort of like what my plans are for myself personally and also for this channel. Because if you're watching this and you think, Dave, you have a YouTube channel now, like, is that your plan to go all into content creation? I will tell you my plan. Are you ready for my plan? My plan is to get out of working full time, and I've already hit that plan. That's awesome. My next plan is to enjoy the summer off. It's April right now. I'm going to enjoy the summer off and not having to work. So expect my upload schedule of this channel to stay exactly the same. I love making content. I think it's super fun. Don't worry, I'm not going anywhere, okay? If you're paying me on Patreon and you're like, oh wait, is he gonna step away? No. I'm gonna keep making content. I love doing this. I think this is super fun. My personal goal is to just de-stress from work and then be able to focus on the stuff I like. And I really, really like this. Of course, if you've listened to me talk before, you know I like to make content and you know that would be my dream to go full-time into this. So yes, that's my plan, but not exactly my plan. So I do want to go full-time into this content stuff. I think it's super fun. I would love to be able to do this, but my current plan is to de-stress and take the summer off from working and then just do what I want to do. That's my main goal. Because I'll tell you guys a little story. It was 2.5 weeks ago when I put my 2 weeks in, and it was on a Tuesday, and I was feeling really good about the decision. I felt like it was the right thing to do. It was time. It was probably time 6 months ago, but I felt like, it was time and I made the right decision. 2 days later, I ended up in the ER because I was having lunch with my parents, and I just felt like this immense pressure in my chest. And I felt like I was going to pass out. Not like, oh, I'm a little bit tired, but it's like, no, like, I'm like breathing in. I feel the tunnel vision coming in. I'm like, I wanted to go get some water. I had to really focus on not falling over. I'm like, okay, something's not right. I was 50-50 on if I just go home and, sleep it off and think it's nothing. But I'm with my parents, and my mom's like, listen, just go to the ER. Let them tell you that you're fine. So I did the right thing. Checked myself in there. And long story short, don't worry. Everything is fine. Everything's totally fine. Chest x-ray was good. EKG was fine. My heart's good. White blood cell count was a little bit high in the blood work, but everything else was fine. What I chalk it all up to, and what the most likely outcome was from it was some sort of panic attack or some sort of just stress. And if I really am honest with myself, I think everything just kind of came to a head. I think that I've been dealing with a lot of different things, not all work related. In fact, I don't even know if most of it's work related. A lot of health stuff. I don't talk about it too much on this channel, but I've dealt with just a lot of different things. And I think it all kind of hit me at once. And it was one of those things where I'm in the ER. I'm just kind of sitting there in a hospital bed, and I'm like, quitting my job was the right call. Like, I don't know exactly what I do. I do not make anywhere near the amount of money on content creation as I did at that job, but I know it was the right move just to get the stress out of my life and be able to focus on de-stressing. I don't want to end up in the ER again. Luckily, it was, just a panic attack. I put quotes around it because if you've ever experienced one, it feels like you're dying, man, dude. It feels like you're having a heart attack. It's wild. It's no joke. But now that that's done with, that's why my main goal is to de-stress. It's to focus. It's to literally go outside and touch grass. Like, I've been doing that. I've just been like hanging out outside. Like, I got a little pillow propping up against a tree. I'm just like laying there. I'm like, I'm hitting that zen, if you watch my channel, you know that I have a little bit of a zen to me. And even though you might not realize it, you're like, okay, this guy talks fast and he hits me with information really quick. I'm also a big fan of take care of yourself, do what's right for you, learn at your own pace, and make sure to go outside and touch grass, talk to your family, talk to your friends, do things like that. So I've been making time to do that, and my plan is to focus on that. That is my number one priority. But of course, I love content creation, and I'm going to keep doing this, and I'm going to keep focusing on this. So it's a weird story, I know, but I figure I'll just fill you guys in on what's going on here. I plan to keep making content. In fact, like, this is technically, it's not even Monday yet, so I haven't even gotten my first day off. Like, this is still sort of the weekend. Once tomorrow hits and then I realize I don't have to go to work, I think it's going to hit me differently. But I'm excited because I feel like I'm going to make a lot of content, because the thing holding me back from making content is time. It's literally just time. I don't have enough time to do all this stuff. When it comes to making certain videos, I like to research things and make sure I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know a lot about what I talk about, but I want to get all the edge cases right. When I give you guys information, I want to make sure it's good. So I'm going to free up a lot of time to do that. I think it's going to be totally, totally fun. For people curious about my job, like my job history and stuff like that, I've been in the field for 15 years. I took a year and a half off in that. So I have 13 and a half years of experience working in 15 years total. My first job was technical operations, because we can't call things sysadmin. We have to inflate the title a little bit. So why not toss the word engineer in there, technical operations engineer. Then I moved on to DevOps engineer. This was like 2014. So everyone and their brother was DevOps. That term just ran rampant in the industry. How wild. Then I worked at a different job, which had one of my favorite titles ever. I was member, engineering staff. Incredible title. No notes. I think it's beautiful. My latest job was I think it was just software engineer. I was like an infrastructure automation, hardware automation. I don't know. There's been reorg. So the titles change, but the work doesn't. So that's always been my work. I like that sysadmin style work. I like programming when I can. So like, yeah, you're monitoring systems that are up, but at the same time, you're also writing software to make it better. So that's the kind of work I like to do. That's what I enjoy doing. And I think it's a ton of fun, but I want to take a little break from it now. I want to focus on this stuff. I want to make educational content. Last year, I made the Bash scripting course. That took a ton of work, but it was a ton of fun, and I had a ton of fun doing it. So I want to do things like this. Now, the last thing I want to talk about is, of course, money, because I got money saved up. I'll be okay for a while. If you're watching this, you're like, oh my God, I got to donate to Dave right now or sign up for his Patreon. Thank you for thinking that, but you don't have to. don't let me dissuade you. If you want to sign up for my Patreon and give me money or super chat or whatever, I'm never going to stop you. I think that's super cool, but I'm not making this video as a way of saying like, oh, pity me, feel bad for me, give me your money. Absolutely not. It's my responsibility. I'm using money that I saved up. I have planned this decision to take some time off. If you know me, I don't make decisions quickly. I don't make rash decisions, I guess I should say. I plan out my decisions. There's really no risk in it for me. I've planned this out. I'm going to make it work. Now, I do want to figure out how to make money off of this whole content thing. I want to figure out how to, I guess, like turn it into a business per se, but not lose like the fun of it. So what I mean by that is I'm not going to start outsourcing and having other people come on here. I don't have any plans for stuff like that, but I have been thinking about like if I wanted to make this lucrative, what exactly would that look like? You know, I make AdSense revenue and that's super nice. I have a Patreon, that's super nice. I think in an ideal world, those things would just sustain me. They don't right now. I make good money off of them, but it's not like, it's nowhere near like in a salary you could make in the tech field. But I'm going to figure out what exactly I would do because, you know, I've made the Bash course and that was completely free, but you could pay for it if you want. I have other ideas for courses. I want to make a Vim course. I want to make a Linux course. I want to make a C programming language course, maybe a Rust course. I have all these ideas. They take a long time. So I thought, oh, well, maybe if I charge for the courses, right? What if I charge like $50, $100, $150 for a course, and then I could make some good money off of that. And then that part of my brain kicks in, which is like, nah, but I also like low-key believe information should be free. So I don't know if I feel comfortable doing that. I'm not worried about how the audience will react to it. I think a lot of people in my comments are like cool with it. They'd be like, yeah, Dave, if you want to charge for this, totally cool. I'd pay for it. I'd be like, yo, you guys are awesome. Yo, I appreciate that. This is just my own mental wheels spinning on the thing. Like, what exactly do I want to do? I mean, there's obviously the other ones. At the time of this recording, I have 99,000 subscribers on YouTube. Hey, thank you so much. If you're watching right now and you like what you see, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Okay, let's get it to 100,000. But yeah, so I'm about to hit 100,000 subscribers. I've never taken a brand deal. I've never taken a sponsorship. I know there's money there. In fact, if you watch people talk about making money on YouTube, it seems like that's where the bulk of the money is, or at least that's where you can make a lot of money, either through brand deals or you sell a product. So I've never done a brand deal. I'm open to them. I am not against them. I've just had the companies reach out to me, and it's usually some AI garbage that I don't want to shill. I plan on making a video where I talk about my feelings on AI, but for now, I can tell you right now, I have no interest in shilling an AI product. If I'm going to shill a product, it's going to be something I believe in. So I'm not against brand deals. I'm just against low quality ones that don't really represent how I feel. So like, you know, if companies wanted to reach out to me and they made like, I don't know, like some ergonomic chair or something, or, you know, those like food delivery services, or I have this like really cool water bottle that I use. If you watch my Bash course, I'm using a water bottle. That's a company. And if they wanted to sponsor me, like, yo, that'd be awesome. Like, I'm open to that kind of stuff. But when it comes to like coding companies, they always hit me up. They're like, Dave, we have this no code solution. You don't have to write a line of code. I'm like, have you watched my videos, dude? I write code because it's fun. It's like, I do it because it's enjoyable. If there was no money to be made in it, I would still do it. I find coding really, really fun. The same way that people put together a puzzle where you could build a robot to do it for. The same reason people lift weights when there's, you know, forklifts out there. Same reason people run on a treadmill when you can just get in a car. Like, I enjoy programming. I enjoy the art of it, the fun of it, the problem solving of it. So I'm not against brand deals. I could see doing something like that in the future. It would just, if I'm doing it, it's going to be a company that I believe in. And the nice thing is I'm not in a place where I am hurting for cash. So I want to make sure I say this correctly. Because of that, I have the privilege of being able to turn away brand deals that I don't want to do. Like, I would never fault someone for doing a brand deal on something they didn't totally believe in, because you got to do what you got to do to make money and survive in a world that requires you to make money. Like, people are like, I can't believe they sell out. I'm like, hey, if you can get paid for it, like, go for it. That's awesome. I don't think that's a bad thing. I just think I am in a very privileged position where I can afford to turn away certain brands that I don't want to work with. And I think that's awesome, and I want to maintain that. That doesn't really work with the whole idea of trying to make money off this. You know what I mean? You see how they're kind of at odds with each other? So I'm going to figure out exactly what that looks like. Maybe I start a You Suck at Programming podcast. That'd be kind of cool. Maybe I have a product I sell. What would my product even be? So that's the first thing I think of, like my courses. I make courses. Maybe I can make supplemental material there. What am I going to run? Some sort of software as a service? All right, that'd be cool, actually. I do have some like ideas there. If I did that, I think I would still make the server like open source. Like, if you want to run it, you can. But if you're lazy and you want to pay me to, use some tier of it or something, and then I run the server for you, but you still get out like something like that. I think is cool. There's a lot of services out there that do that. I think that's super neat. So yeah, basically I'm open to ideas. I'm curious what you guys think. Like I said, I plan on taking the next couple of months off of working my full-time job. That does not mean taking off of YouTube. Don't worry about that. I'm going to stress that again. I just plan on taking some time off, relaxing, making sure I'm doing that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if you made it this far, you're awesome. Let me know what you guys feel. It's kind of like a nice little update for the channel. Let me know what you think of the shirt. It's ridiculous. I think I got off the TikTok shop. We're going to hit 100,000 subscribers. So if you haven't hit subscribe, go ahead and subscribe now. Yeah, thank you to my patrons over at Patreon. Check it out. Look at these guys. They are awesome. They support me on Patreon. If you want your name at the end of one of my videos, go ahead and sign up for my Patreon. I think that's super cool. Yeah, I think that's it. I'll try to answer as many questions as people have in the comments because I went over all the stuff that I want to say, but I think people are going to have a lot of questions when it comes to it. So yeah, that's all I got. Thank you everyone for watching. I appreciate it. And I think I'm going to put this video up soon. So it'll be before I hit 100K. I'll go live when I'm going to hit 100K because it's going to be in the next like week or so. I think like the next like 6-7 days, I'll go live and we'll do it live. I hope it's not going to be like 4 in the morning my time, but who cares? I'm unemployed. I don't have a schedule. So I'll go live and we can enjoy that together. I think that'd be kind of fun. So yeah, thank you everyone. See ya.